Hey everybody, Ron Burke, editor-in-chief for GamingTrend.com, and I am an unrepentant Robocop fanatic. So, while I know that this is definitely going to be a mid-tier kind of game, this is probably one of my most anticipated games of the year. I'm running on an RTX 4090, as you can see in the corner, and I'm going to leave that running in the corner just for your own use. We are maxed out on all details, and we're running DLSS quality. Epic across the board, motion blur. It's enough of that. Turn that off. Let's get started.
You give us 3 minutes, and we give you the world. Good evening. I'm Casey Wong. A military submarine that went missing over 3 years ago has suddenly reappeared in the Baltic Sea. Confused seamen mistakenly opened fire on the last Lapland reservation, killing 12. Thankfully, our homesick sailors are back on U.S. soil. Welcome back, boys. In local news, a new crime wave that is sweeping Detroit has already claimed the lives of 21 police officers. Here's a statement from the head of OCP, Omni Consumer Products, that's funding and running
right out of the gate,
the
we're
Detroit
diving
Police
right
Department.
into
Old
the
Detroit
Paul
has a
Verhoeven
cancer,
style
and that cancer is crime.
voiceovers
it must be cut
for
out, and OCP holds the
some
scope.
According to our
wordplay,
sources,
like the last
attacks were
Lapland,
aimed at catching
survivors
the
kind of
attention
thing.
of a man whose identity
And
remains
obviously,
unknown.
over-the-top
This
news,
dangerous new guy in
that's
town
just too
seems to have his eye
ridiculous to
on
believe.
doing business in old Detroit.
And we're going to jump right into a hostage situation,
sorry.
of course.
There seems to be a
Disturbance? I'm a big fan. Now move! Don't adjust your television sets. Your regularly scheduled program will be back shortly. Now, this message goes out to the new guy in town. It seems that you're looking to spend some money in this great city of ours. I'm here to tell you that the Torchheads are open for business. You may have heard of us as the #1 supplier of nuke in old Detroit.
So if we're talking about nuke, this obviously takes place between Robocop
in front of every
maybe
convenience
2 and
store,
3.
school,
I'm
or
not quite sure
library
if we are
near
talking
you.
pre-Kane or
That's
post-Kane.
not all we're capable of.
If it's 3, man,
Let's
we.
get you up
but
here.
I can at least live with 2.
We'll get Officer Howard to illustrate the point. You see, Officer Howard made a drug bust that cost us a lot of money. We want to reward this dutiful officer with a performance bonus. A lifetime supply of nuke. Oh man, you're gonna have the time of your life. There you go. Enjoy. New guy. Us Torchheads are more than capable of doing whatever you need done in our city. So what is it, huh? Arson, smuggling, drug dealing, good old-fashioned murder. We do it all. You
They are
got the money,
October-listed fire starters,
we've
is
got
what
the
he's saying.
power. So let's talk.
While this loads up, the rest of my system, including the RTX 4090, it's an Intel 13900K, and then I've got 32 gigs of DDR5 running at 7200 megahertz textures per second, so pretty much covered on hardware, and this is running off of an NVMe rated for 7,000 megatransfers, so nice and quick. It's
Good to see
actually
you, Murphy.
2:38 in the morning, so what I meant to say
Lieutenant
was
at the main entrance to the
7,000
TV
megs per
station.
second. Alright, let's get started. While we play, I'm going to fill your head with all sorts of fun facts. Let's start with the car. So, this car, anytime you see Alex Murphy in the car, riding around in old Detroit, just take a moment and realize the suit was too bulky for the actor to wear. So anytime you see Robo, he's wearing no pants. Do with that as you will. This is actually one of the parts that I was looking forward to the most, is walking around old Detroit and just interacting with
I can see your lady is still
citizens.
quite
And
shaken up. I'll get one of the paramedics.
if you played the previous game from this developer,
I wouldn't bother. I already ran the
Terminator. I'm
plates.
sorry. Yeah, Terminator.
You should know by now.
Then you kind of know what you're in for, but they really pushed the visual fidelity this time around, and it really shows. Old Detroit looks pretty horrible in all the best ways.
If it keeps on like this, we're gonna run short of
Dead
body
officer.
bags.
That's no good. Civilians.
I'm gonna give you 10 milligrams of diazepam to make you comfortable.
Make it double.
Channel 9, so we're definitely responding to the fun and excitement at the news station.
We can't wait any longer. Those trigger-happy maniacs have a ton of hostages. But sir... Roger that. Over and out.
What is the situation?
Goddamn OCP tells us to stand down till SWAT arrives. That's our situation.
Looks like I'm on the way out.
Not so fast, buddy. Who do you think is gonna clean up this place? I'm not letting you off that easily.
You sound just like my wife.
If that's the case, let's get you patched up. We wouldn't want to get on her bad side. Press here. Medic! There you are, partner.
Lewis?
The hell is going on up there?
Sorry, dude! The police want us to release the hostages! So no hard feelings!
Hey, you can't go in yet. We need to wait for the reinforcements.
Reinforcements have arrived.
I knew you'd say something like that.
So I don't know if that's Nancy Allen actually playing Officer Lewis.
We need
it
to
sounds
find
like it
another
might
way.
be, but
It is too
I don't know. Just not
dangerous to
quite.
cross.
This
For
actor
me.
sounds pretty young
But you
still,
can take
and
the heat.
just kind of the same age that Ann Lewis
Go,
was
I'll
in
figure
the
something
movie.
out. Besides,
And you definitely can
you
tell,
could do with
yeah,
a head
that's
start.
Peter Weller in the suit. And
go on.
my only criticism is that RoboCop in the movies, his dialogue was a little more snappy, and obviously here Peter Weller, is kind of taking his time. So we're dealing with. I'm just going to go ahead and headcanon this, that we're dealing with an officer that has finally regained his sense of self post RoboCop 1. He's overridden his directives, and he's now finally able to take on his job as a cop once again,
Guys,
embracing his humanity. So maybe a little less
Anyone
robotic,
expecting a
and
silver fruit?
I'm just going to roll with that instead of, the man's got a little older.
Drop it, scum.
Let's blow some holes in people. It's almost cheat, if you will. You're just scanning the system. You've got that scan line interleave kind of overlay that they screwed onto RoboCop's face during assembly, and get the targeting overlay. I do love that they have totally embraced the fact that RoboCop is a tank. You almost can't do enough damage to him with small arms. And when you do take enough damage, you hit H here, and that's going to heal you up a little bit. There's also things to find in the environment, like you've got this nuke here. You might also find, counterfeit documents or just things that are crimes. not necessarily even related to what we're doing. You can jog a little bit. Here we go, fake ID card. So there's some more crime evidence. You can jog a little bit, but we're talking about Robocop. He's not fast moving, nor is he meant. Ooh, 6 hits. So I did play the demo back in a couple weeks ago, and it seems like they've updated the damage model because I almost flew through that without a problem, without even taking any damage. So it seems like now we're taking a little bit more damage, making things a little bit more difficult. I do also like that I don't remember what the name of it is, the Desert Eagle knockoff that he uses, the Auto 9, I think is what it's called, is not the only weapon that you're getting. You can obviously pick up their pistols, I don't know why you would, but you can pick up their pistols, and you can also use your own weapons. And I know there's a leveling up system as well, where you can put additional points in there to cause those weapons to do more damage.
Worried about the weight limit?
Targeting, that kind of thing.
Lewis, you're here.
We need to get these elevators back online. The service box is in the basement.
Let me.
I doubt you had time between all the heroics, but I got a key card from the janitor. It's good to do some real street work from time to time, you know? After you. They sabotaged the elevators and staircase too. They obviously don't want to be disturbed.
So I got to mention, I mentioned that Paul Verhoeven was the director on RoboCop, and he's also done such majestic films as Starship Troopers and Showgirls. But
that graffiti is fresh.
I bet some of those idiots
rejected
are still
the
here.
movie initially. So he read the script, and he was just like, "This is stupid. This is just a dumb big action movie. There's no way I'm making this thing." So he's responsible for getting all of those satirical elements in that make RoboCop amazing. All right, let's breach this door and pop some people in the head in slow motion. Excuse me, sir.
Any more tricks up your sleeve?
I will keep them coming.
What a warm welcome, don't you think?
Yeah, again, if you played their previous game, played the Terminator game, it was actually pretty damn good. But this is definitely a cut above. The small delay that they ran to get the stuff to work, well worth the time. It feels like they spent time with balance, and this should be a more challenging game as a result. The demo was, gosh, it seemed like it was 3 levels of the game. You can just practically walk through it like nothing. Now, I feel like there's actually some threat. I'm still a walking tank. I'm not as bulletproof as I was before. Hey, fake money. Man, what aren't these guys into? Oh, it's Officer Lewis, and I'm not sure what that is. Gray matter? Brains? Eyeballs? Amalgamation of things. So yeah, it's not perfect. I don't expect it to be. Alright, hint program. We're gonna scan. He is nuke overdose. Sucks. Sorry, dude. That must have been awesome for a few seconds, and then, death. So that part kind of sucks. Here's our OC recovery charges. Those are what we use to heal ourselves. I should say repair ourselves. That's probably more accurate. By the way, for those of you who aren't fans of the original, and if you're not, what's wrong with you? If you shoot a guy in the dick, and I highly encourage you to, in fact, I'll switch to my primary weapon to do exactly that. You will get the cross-leg survival alley.
Gotta say, I did not expect such a big crowd.
But yeah, they'll hold their junk and generally complain about being shot in the dick. There is a funny video that I definitely don't encourage you to go find, but if you're inclined, where it's basically Robocop responding in the scene where the woman's being assaulted in the alleyway, and Robocop proceeds to shoot the guy in the dick, and it's shown in a shocking level of detail. And then just other rapists start showing up, and eventually it's like this cavalcade of rapists all being shot in the dick. And wow, did they really go all out on prosthetic dicks. I feel like I've said dicks enough in this particular segment, so let's go ahead. Prosthetic dicks. Nope, lost my way. Go this way. I feel like I need to punch somebody with good old Let's find this guy. Yeah, that's satisfying. Grab this guy, use him. That guy actually has a helmet. It's not gonna help. It's nice to try. Those grenades are going to cause me problems. You need to shoot them. Really? Targeting is off.
Over here, Murphy. It's that service box, isn't it? Hey, why don't you check it out?
We got another primary weapon. This auto assault rifle. More drugs. Get a little, I think this comes with a little mini game here. Oh, no. Yeah, here we go. So we're going to use Robocop's vision to investigate the objects and figure out the short circuit. And we're going to fix it.
I am detecting a short circuit. We need to isolate the cables.
I think I've got something just for that.
So, I hate to keep returning to the rape scene because it's a horrible scene, but the original script for that scene,
they're holding everyone
Robo
in
was
the
meant
studio.
to actually shoot past
It's on the 30th floor.
The rapist that was holding the female hostage. He was going to shoot past and kind of clip him in the cheek and then shoot him. But during shooting, Paul noticed that the way she was being pulled backwards, her legs had kind of spread open, and he got the idea to shoot the guy in the dick. And I promise this is the last time I'm going to mention the guy's dick. Let's be done with the guy's dick.
Finally decided to join our glamorous show. I'm afraid you're too late for my autograph.
Chopper's ready.
I've got to go, but the party goes on. Guys, make sure you provide all our guests with a decent amount of amusement, so don't skimp on the nuke. See ya.
What a freaking psycho. We need to be quick before they kill anyone else. I know that look, Murphy.
Speaking
You
of
saw
killing,
something, didn't you?
so here's a fun fact.
We are here to enforce the law.
That's that for a premise. Here's a fun fact
Right.
about murder.
Just keep in mind that
So
I'm here if
all
you
of
need me,
Robocop was
partner.
shot, and Paul Verhoeven is not known for being able to hold a budget. The man just can't.
Slime bags detected.
yikes.
Just look at that,
Every movie he
boys.
shot has been over
The
budget.
police dog.
He
and
shot the
its
entire
bitch.
movie,
Not sure which one is
handed
which.
over the first
You're gonna
draft
take that back.
of the movie for approval to the executives. Minus one crucial scene. It just said scene deleted, and it was the shot of Murphy's death, him being blown to bits in that basement, and they just had not filmed that. So they figured, okay, I guess if we hand it over like this, they'll have no choice but to give us the money to finish the film. Hey, I can throw these. And that's exactly what happened. They gave them the money to finish out that scene. And if you own the Criterion edition of this movie, that is one of the most brutal scenes ever put to film that wasn't in, something like Hostel. I'll just pause here for a second. So there's a cut of the movie that you've probably seen on TV, and it kind of very quickly flashes over Murphy, and it shows him being shot in the hand, but it's super brief, like a split second. And then it shows him being shot in the chest, and it shows him being shot in the legs, and just all over, but it's super brief. In the Criterion edition of the movie, there's a whole different mess. It's very sustained. You see in slow motion, you see the hand hit, and it just explodes. There's fingers and bits everywhere. I mean, it's way worse than this. But it's just horrifying. And what's worse is it just keeps going and going. The same thing with the scene with Ed 209 when he's first revealed, and Johnson grabs that 50 cal and proceeds to point it at Jake Jones. And pointed it at 209. Well, in the Criterion edition of the film, Johnson is shot from the front, and then they show him being shot from the side, and then they show him being shot from the back, and then he's bounced up onto the model of Detroit, and then it's more of him being hit in the chest, and then it's just chunks. It's just and I'm not joking about the length. It just keeps going and going. Chunks and chunks and blood everywhere from every conceivable angle. It's brutal to watch, but it really makes the point of, we turned this urban pacification thing into something even more horrible than you can imagine. And it is not safe for broadcast. That's for damn sure. If you're a fan of the old ultra violence, it satisfies that nicely. And that's just one of several scenes, including that just gets severely to almost a Family Guy level of parody, where it's just going and going and going and going.
What a mess.
Yeah, I don't mean to keep gushing, but it really is one of my favorite movies. It's just one of those things that's so ridiculous. There's nothing else like it. The new film, it's not Robocop, I'll say that. But it's okay in its own right. It's just not the same. It's not the same genre even. It just feels like a completely different thing. Like if they gave it a different name, it might have been a fine film. As it stands, I mean, you should watch it just because the special effects are pretty stellar. But it's not. Also, why? I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but that's a whole different problem with Hollywood right now. They've forgotten that movies can be rated R, and that some of them can be a hard R. I'm gonna regale you with nothing but just random stuff that comes to my head, so I apologize if there's no rhyme or reason to it. But I know a lot about the suit, I know a lot about the production, I know a lot about just this film in general. Okay, here's another fun thing. So I mentioned that Peter Weller couldn't wear the suit from the waist down when he was in the car, right? But in that scene, right, they throw the keys and he catches them, says thank you, and jumps into the car, right? They had to shoot that scene almost more than any other scene because what is it's 2:30, sorry, sleepy. What is the suit made out of? Foam rubber. Well, every time they throw the keys at him, it would bounce right off of his hand. So that particular scene took an inordinate amount of reshoots just to get him to catch the keys, much less do it smoothly. Oh, and the foam rubber was so hot because it doesn't breathe. It's foam rubber, right? And it's also very smooth. He was losing upwards of 3 to 5 pounds of water weight every day. So to keep him from, dying, they had to install air conditioners in the Robocop suit. Yep, blocked. Oh, no. There.
Thank God you've come. This lady really needs to see a doctor.
Murphy, these people need help. Why don't you go ahead? I'll stay with them.
Right.
This is Lewis. We have rescued 3 hostages, one with a gunshot wound to the abdomen. Requesting urgent medical assistance. Over.
Alright, let's get healed up and head upstairs. If you are a Rift Tracks fan and you want to see Robocop at its absolute worst, other than 3, did you know there was a Robocop TV show? No joke, meant for broadcast television, a Robocop television show. Now, let that sink in for a second and head over to rifttracks.com and check out. They have a riff of that show. It has to be seen to be believed. I don't know which is worse, that or the animated Saturday morning cartoon that they made for kids. What about this is screaming to you, we should make a show like this for children? Let me shoot some more guys and tell me more about how kids want to see this on Saturday morning with their snorks, because it was obviously the 80s. But yeah, you can find the riff tracks for the TV show. They did 1 episode, and I highly recommend it. It's just hilarious and bizarre to even watch. All right. Finding plenty of these recovery charges. Not seeing any more handcrafted fake bags or IDs down here. Doesn't mean there isn't any. We'll keep an eye out. These guys can mulch. Oh, let's get away from that. Get out of here. That looks uncomfortable. It makes me happy. About the Auto 9 that Robo uses. The original design was that Robocop would take the gun that was used in the boardrooms. But when they had Peter Will actually do a screen test with it, the gun was so tiny compared to the suit. They're like, yeah, no, we need to do something bigger than that. So they brought in a Beretta Auto pistol and pressed that up with some additional rails on top, which you can see in the film, and that was what ended up being the Auto 9 in the movie. Now, a special message to David. Hi, David. I know that you've you're the one that's doing the review on this, but as you can hear, I just know a stupid amount about this movie, so I hope you don't mind my my capture as the love letter that it really is. I will not influence your review, I promise. Oh, excuse me, sir. No. I promise I won't influence your review because I just feel like there's no way I could review this and be impartial about it. It's just, this really is one of my favorite movies of all time, and there's just no way I could be objective about this. I know myself about that. So let's just continue on. Much like the forgot about that from the demo.
Darling, could you get the napkins from the cupboard? Sure thing, Mom. What are we having?
It's a surprise. Little man, have you washed your hands?
You washed your hand, little man. You've done your nuke. I mean, homework.
I wasn't playing in the dirt.
Of course you do. No more discussion.
Darn.
Alex, what do you think about the color of this dress? I'm not sure if I like the pattern.
Nope.
James really looks up to you. He said in school that he wants to be a police
All right,
officer.
so
just
let me
like
wax
his
philosophical
dad.
here for a minute. The original idea with Robocop going home, remember in that scene he goes home and he sees the flashes of his former life as Alex Murphy as kind of a flashback, remembering. Let me tell you the story. You good? All right. So originally the scene was Robocop goes home and he sees his former life as Alex Murphy, and he sees his wife and his kid, and they're dressing up for Halloween, and this whole special sentimental moment. The original idea for that scene was actually much broader than that. He was originally going to see his dog, and it was going to be this scene where the dog, I should say, he sees the dog for real when he goes to visit the house.
You work so hard, honey. Why don't you take some leave? We all could use a little break.
And the dog doesn't recognize him because he's in his Robocop suit, right? And the idea was that this was going to be kind of a parallel of The Odyssey by Homer, right? Where in that book,
you got 3 seconds.
The protagonist comes home and nobody recognizes him except the dog. So in this case, we're talking Alex coming home and seeing the scene with his family, and the only one that recognizes him is the dog. But it was just seen as too sentimental, and it just extended the movie too long, and it didn't keep the pace at the rest of the frantic action that's in the film already. So it was cut.
What does it want? Get it away from me!
I am sorry.
Can't you see? It's unstable!
Ma'am, please, calm down. It's been a very tough evening, and I assure you that everyone wants to be back home with their families. Though for some of us, the night has just begun.
The OCP headquarters is actually not too far away from me. That particular building was CGI'd together. It's a building that's in Dallas, Texas, and it still stands today. And they basically just photoshopped the top multi-levels on top of it. So OCP headquarters is actually just a building downtown in Dallas.
Pay my bail now. Cash? No problem. Do you take singles?
Get back in line.
They're here.
In fact, as I think about it, the only time actual Detroit is shown is in the opening scene of the movie. When it opens up and you see that kind of nighttime
Murphy.
shot of Detroit,
I think you're
that
forgetting
actually
someone.
is Detroit. But everything else
Officer
after
Lewis,
that, it's Dallas.
You were remarkable.
Soot ran off with his tail between his legs.
Would have been nice if we caught him, though.
All right, all right. Are you done with this circle jerk, huh? Good. We've got a problem.
The malfunction caught on camera provokes a question. Can we put our safety into the hands of a machine, especially one as unreliable as Robocop? We asked Max Becker, the head of security concepts at OCP.
Now quiet!
We would never put a defective product on the streets. That's not what we do.
We all saw it hesitate in a life and death situation. Why? Does it really know right from wrong?
Listen, I would trust this guy with my kids.
If
I had any. This was just an isolated glitch. Thank you.
You call that a glitch?
Mr. Becker, I've got more questions.
I just want to snap her little neck. But she's got a point. This was not an isolated incident. It's a pattern. A pattern that the old man once examined and fixed. Time to see what's hiding in that metal head of yours.
We know what's in Murphy's head.
Squirrels.
It's what's in yours that worries us.
Push me, and you might just find out. You, follow me.
So one of my favorite parts of Robocop, I've been in IT for a long time, and one of my favorite parts of Robocop, and one of the things that I've said many times, and I've said it to many, many people, is when are we going to get the giant middle knuckle spike for an interface for computers? Because that would be amazing. Of note, when Robocop does the records interface, and he pulls out that giant spike, and he searches and looks up Clarence Boddicker and all of his associates.
God damn it, when will this be
That
fixed?
is actually a.
Don't hold your breath.
It's actually
OCP isn't
a.
looking to spend a
I
dime
want to
on
say
our
Texas
equipment.
Instruments, but it might be. It might be. No, I'm sorry. It's a Northern Telecom. But the point is that it's a phone interface. It's actually not even a computer interface. But anyway, I digress. Sorry,
What
IT humor.
seems to be the problem?
My damn locker won't open. Can you try?
Can I punch it?
Wait, what is all this shit doing in my locker?
They wanted you to be safe out there.
Yes, all the M18 smoke grenades.
Yeah, you guys, very funny.
I do like that they've got these little kind of tidbits of humor. It's not all, grim, dark RoboCop against the world interface stuff. It's got, the trademark, these are cops out there busting their ass and trying to just keep each other alive sort of things. And you're bound to just prank each other and that's just part of the gig, right? And you see that here, so I appreciate that. Let's go down to our holding cage.
There's my favorite walking, talking law enforcement machine.
Okay, let's get on with it.
Why don't you take a seat for me? That's a nasty scar. I'd like to see the other guy. Am I right?
You do not. Trust me.
Don't mind me. I'll just get this off.
So, here's the deal, Robo. The old man is not happy with your performance.
Yeah, I thought it did well.
Instead of sending you to the scrapyard, as I suggested, he wants to fix you. Hey, pretty boy. You sure know how to make an impression on the ladies.
Doesn't it hurt him?
Hurt? Lady, he's a machine. He's legally dead. We can do whatever we want with him.
No, madam. It does not hurt me physically.
So we're going to equip you with a little monitoring chip. It will do a real-time check of your system, so we can get to the bottom of what the hell is wrong.
So in the portion where
performance will be
it's after Alex has
monitored
been
and
shot, and
graded.
they recover his body, and they're going to turn him into RoboCop, right? And you've got the trauma team rushing him up in the helicopter, and then they pull him down, and you have them talking about all the different things that they're trying to do to save his life. Paul Verhoeven brought in, well, probably his DP, if I had to guess. They brought in a real trauma team to do the scene. So it made a much more realistic scene, even if some of the stuff they're talking about is just gibberish. But that scene was actually done with a real paramedic trauma team to try and make it feel more realistic and not like an episode of ER. All right, RoboCop evaluation. So this is going to be how we gain XP. Apparently I missed a secret. And apparently not everybody was saved. Well, you know, these things happen. B stands for but good enough. All right, here's our skills system. So we can upgrade our combat, our armor, vitality, engineering, focus, scanning, deduction, and psychology. I actually like this. I'm going to mess around with the psychology stuff because I really like the kind of RPG light stuff that's in the game. So I want to put some points into that. We're all out of points over here, so we're just going to call that good. Activate that. Yep, save.
Well, I can already see some unwanted activity in your hippocampus. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Other than that, everything seems to be installed correctly. To be sure, let's make a simple test to check that all circuits are in order. What are your prime directives?
Serve the public trust. Protect the innocent. Uphold the law.
Okay,
yeah, so this is one of those scenes in the game where I feel like Peter Weller's is speaking those lines a little bit more slowly than he did as Robocop.
Is that everything?
Actually, no.
It feels more human than it does machine.
My name is Dr. Olivia Blanche. I'm a police psychologist. I specialize in dealing with police officers suffering from emotional trauma.
Emotional trauma? Might as well talk to the microwave. It hasn't been working properly either.
OCP wanted to see if you'd be willing to have a talk with me as part of your evaluation. I noticed that a great deal of care has been put into making sure that your mechanical components work. However, one aspect of your composition that has been severely neglected is your human side, your brain.
I agree. If it was up to me, I'd remove it altogether. What do you think, Doctor? Would save us a lot of hassle.
You do not get crushed.
I don't mind the hassle.
Grape, right?
So what do you say, officer? Is that possibly something that could be of interest to you?
I am not sure.
Robo, Reed wants everyone in the briefing room in 5. It's about the new guy.
The new guy?
Excuse me, Dr. Blanche, but I am needed elsewhere.
But we...
Well, can't say we didn't try. Everyone
you did your
get
best.
Back to whatever the
it wasn't very good, but that's what you did.
Man, I tell you, it was crazy in that TV station. Good job you had Murphy.
Murphy, could you please help me out here?
Sure.
What seems to be the problem, officer?
Reed is in the briefing room, and I have my hands full. There are so many complaints
I got a good Reed
that
story.
I can't keep up.
I'll wait till it's over.
Getting crazy in here. Could you open up another line and help me?
I am here to serve the public trust.
Sorry, we're gonna use some
Take
harsh
the
language
spot
here.
on the
So,
podium. You're a lifesaver,
during the scene
Robo.
when what's his name? Kurtwood Smith, who sadly doesn't call anyone a dumbass in this movie. But anyway, when he comes up to the desk after Robo's arrested him, and Reed's standing at the desk, and he spits the blood on the form and says, "Just give me my fucking phone call." The actor that played Reed, nobody was informed that Kurtwood Smith was going to do that. So when he backs away and goes, "Shit," that was an honest reaction to a scene he just didn't know he was a part of. Which I love that kind of acting. That's the same exact kind of thing that you see in other movies like Aliens, where some actors were not informed of the entirety of the scene, and as a result, you get this very real human reaction. Let's open up
This
line
line
and
is
deal
open.
with
Please form an orderly
whatever the hell that is.
Officer, I have a problem. My neighbors are hostile toward me. I think it's because they're jealous of my new dog. Why would they get so worked up every time I take him for a walk?
What is his name?
He has a beautiful red coat, so I called him Fire. He likes to hide, so sometimes I have to yell, "Fire! Fire!" to find him. Anyway, can you do something about my neighbors?
Would you like me to shoot them? I mean, no.
No, but I will let you off with a warning.
That's fine. I don't mind paying the price for having the cutest dog in all of Detroit.
Next, please.
I got something for you, officer. I know where you can find a wanted criminal. That poster over there says there's a reward for that information. And I want it.
I want details.
Are you blind? I'm the guy from that poster, so here I am. Now, give me the money.
I will have to detain you.
Fine, but I still get the reward, right?
You are a dumbass.
No.
You cops don't appreciate honesty.
Take him away. Next, please.
Officer,
Yeah, we're gonna uphold
I
the
would
law.
like to report my son missing.
How old is he?
He's 24, but he's never been gone for so long without letting me know.
How long has it been?
Just over 2 days now.
We do not consider an adult missing within 72 hours.
Oh, please, I'm begging you. Something's not right. You really need to find him.
So, just a real-world note here. This is complete horseshit. You do not have to wait 24 hours to report a missing person. You can report them immediately. I don't know where this trope came from. Maybe Hollywood is at fault. But no, you don't have to wait 24 hours to report a missing person.
What is his name?
Please stop perpetuating that.
George Elkins, 7706 Orchard Avenue.
Let me check. Your son was found dead 2 hours ago.
What?
That's a...
Oh, no.
Thanks for the help, Murphy.
Sure. To the shooting range. So I can find my way down there. So speaking of improvised lines, Kurtwood actually improvised, well, actually I should say Paul Verhoeven actually improvised the line for Kurtwood when he walks in on Bob Norton, and he's got the two ladies that are there doing the cocaine and everything else, and he walks in and he says, "Bitches leave." So that came from Verhoeven. Verhoeven's not American, so he didn't really understand that bitches is not a, it's not a nice term for the ladies. It's a derogatory term, and so he just didn't understand what he was really saying, but Kurtwood just delivered it so expertly that it stuck, and it's now, you know, I mean, it's kind of a staple of the movie. It's one of those lines that sticks out because it's just so well
Press
done.
the button when you're ready. 50 points is what OCP calls a passing grade. Shouldn't be a problem to you.
Sure, I can handle that. I'll just reload here.
50, unless you want to try to break
I guess
the
I can
record.
be top now. Hit 50. $121. Look at that. I'm still alive.
Good job. I'll let the eggheads know that you're good to go. See you in the briefing room.
I'm sure somebody out there is going to smoke that score. I feel like I could do much better, but you also didn't tune in for that. You tuned in for all my comedy, right? Yeah, see?
Hi, Murphy.
Let's find the interface down here. Looking forward to stabbing it with my fist. Keys. I feel like the development team really just understood what Robocop was about, and they've thrown in all these crazy references and just throwbacks to what made this movie amazing and one of a kind. All right, to the briefing room.
I just can't do it.
So, what's on today's agenda? Murphy, could you give me a hand?
It's no secret that crime has been on the rise ever since what the media has named the new guy in town showed up in the city. The word on the street is that he wants to spend a lot of money in old Detroit, and that has made every gang in the city start advertising their services. We need to find him before things get out of control.
Where do we look?
Our best bet is to see if he made contact with the Torchheads. Robo, I want you to start by checking the arcade downtown. It's become a high-activity area for punks.
Understood.
Everyone else, keep your eyes open. Any questions?
Any word on Briggs?
What happened to Briggs?
He's been missing since yesterday.
Shit.
Officer Briggs remains missing. That's over 24 hours since he's been in contact with anyone here.
Are the two cases connected?
No reason to assume so. But if anyone finds Briggs' informant, we might learn something new. All right, now get out there.
You go ahead, partner. I need to write this report, and there's something else I need to do first.
Yes, something. They really did a good job with capturing Lewis. I mean, I don't feel like I'm staring into some weird facsimile. I feel like they did a pretty solid job on bringing her to life. So good job. Gotta give props to the art team there. Same thing with Peter Weller's face. I mean, they really did a good job. As soon as they pull off that helmet, you can immediately tell that it's Peter Weller. Another interesting note: Peter Weller actually was not the first choice. Realized that Blade Runner came out the same time this did, and Rutger Hauer was actually the first choice for Robocop. But Peter Weller being a lot cheaper, because what did he do? Nothing. He had done nothing except for, well, you know, Buckaroo Banzai, but that really had not blown up the way Robocop would. So this is really his first big movie, and honestly, it's probably one he's most known for. Oh, hello. I guess see, this is nice. I wish more developers would do this. If I leave now, I'm gonna miss the stinky situation side mission. So we're gonna go find that and complete that. Stinky situation. Maybe in the briefing room. Hey there.
I can deal with blood, guts, but puke is a no-go for me. Oh, be a sport and move his ass to the drunk tank for me. You've got your special gloves and extra protection, so you shouldn't mind.
No likey. Oh.
Just take him downstairs. I owe you one, Murphy. Oh no, the smell is following you. I'm gonna be sick.
Alright, carry the drunkard to the cell. I feel like that's downstairs, so let's head downstairs and put him in the drunk tank.
I don't remember getting on a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm. You want to go visit the shooting range?
Look who's back home. Just toss him in one of the empty cells.
See, we would have missed out on whatever this is.
Finally. Home.
Sleep tight.
Again, stuff comes to me randomly. So the scene where they're putting Robocop together and the technician, I can't remember her name, goes to give Robocop a kiss because they're having the launch party, and she leans over and is going to give him a kiss on the head. She kind of falls on her ass. Completely unscripted, but it kind of fits with the, you know, kind of humor of the movie. So they just stuck with it and they left it in the film. There's a couple of scenes like that, you know, you've got guys falling over the shit. There's little things that happen that you're like, no, this is unintentional, but it's good. Let's just leave it in.
came to clean up this city, didn't you?
That's me.
It'd be easier to burn it all to the ground.
People have said that
Believe
about
me,
Detroit
just
for a long time.
Burn it all.
So we're searching for Soot, the guy who thinks he's a twisted fire starter from
Coming
Prodigy.
up, is your air freshener secretly killing you? Find out at 11.
My air freshener's actively killing me. As a police officer, you can issue tickets for misdemeanors like public drinking, disorderly conduct, and traffic violations. Well, let's bust somebody for parking next to a fire hydrant. As soon as I can figure out how to do that. Clickety clickety. You're killing me, Smalls. Alright, and we're back. I didn't realize that I had the reflex indicator, that small gray square that was over on the left-hand side of my screen. I did not realize that I had that running the whole time. I happened to glance up and spotted that. What that is, you can use that to measure the response time. Basically flashes, and it's a synchronization of the frames with your screen. So when you see that little square in the corner, that's what that is. You're not going insane. Nothing is stuck. That's the reflex indicator. You need some specialized tools to make it all come together, but it doesn't change the fact that I still can't figure out how the hell to issue this ticket. I'm gonna shoot this car. Oh, hold on. I probably have to just right-click and scan. Yeah, there it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what this is. Let's issue a ticket, folks.
One parking ticket is all it takes to improve mindfulness.
Sometimes. So we're supposed to be going to the arcade. I'm not quite sure.
This is Reed. Mayor Kuzak just stormed into my office. Apparently, his niece's car has been stolen. Find it. This goes to the top of your priority list.
Of
You
course
can
it
start
does.
by asking about it at some of the local garages. For the record,
who's
it's
there?
a blue SUX
Oh, it's
6000
only you.
registered to Melissa Kuzak.
It's back. Big is back. 6000 SUX. Yeah, naturally.
Shoes I found in the dumpster behind the mega store. I got $15 for them.
That sounds like a steal, sir.
Unless you want to lose them.
Yeah, typical, mayor calls. His ticket goes to the top. Doesn't matter if we got people getting murdered. Doesn't matter if we got nuke in the area. No. We gotta investigate what happened to this lady's 6000 SUX. Kit, is that you? Alright, sir.
Hey, I might be a little late filing my tax return, but sending a one-man army seems like an overreaction.
I am here to investigate the theft of a blue SUX 6000 that belongs to Melissa Kuzak.
Fancy car and fancy name, but I hardly ever get the pleasure of dealing with either.
Do you have any information about the whereabouts of this vehicle?
To be honest, I did some work on one of those cars recently, but I can assure you that it was not the one you're looking for.
Do I have your permission to search the shop?
I know what the world's like, but can a man go about his business without being harassed all the damn time?
Okay, well there's that point in psychology.
Concealment of information detected.
You think you can scare me with that technical mumbo jumbo?
Come clean now, or there will be serious repercussions.
Okay, you win. So there's this boy, Scott. He works for me on and off. He might have something to do with your case. Let me open his locker for you.
So the 6000 XUX, I mean, Verhoeven is just like the rest of us. He's a 13-year-old child. Hey, what are we thinking about here, Robo? Yeah. There we go. He's 13 like the rest of us. So,
go on.
It was meant to be SUCKS, but he changed it to SUX. But it was originally built, it was based on a 1976 Oldsmobile Cutlass, which is just a boat of a car. But yeah, you can see that in the movie. I mean, it kind of looks like a blend
what do you
between
reckon?
that and a crappy
For
kind
the
of
time
Ford
being, where is the suspect?
excuse
You
for a
see,
Mustang from back in
He
the
hasn't
day.
turned up for work for some time. This morning, when 2 thugs swang by looking for him, I knew he must be in trouble. I've overheard him many times talking about a place where he does car jobs on the side.
Give me the precise location.
I can't tell you exactly where it is. All I know is that it's one of the garages near the local storage compartments.
Scott doesn't work here full time?
Is he a temporary worker?
You could say that. We fall out a lot because he brings a lot of hot stuff to the shop, and I'm not okay with it.
And you let him come back?
It's hard to make an honest living these days. That's why I understand his struggle, and I let him come back. Working here keeps him out of trouble. And to be frank, it's not easy to find such a good mechanic either.
Tell me why you think he is responsible.
He's young, bright, and would like to rule the world. I get it, but nearly every month he gets himself in trouble.
It is not enough to make assumptions.
I'm not a cop, but I've seen many things in my life, and where there's smoke, there's usually fire.
Why protect him?
Why did you cover for him?
I can't watch a decent kid like him get swallowed by this city. Don't look at me like that. Instead of giving him up, I was encouraging him to come clean. But a man can only try.
All right.
That is all for now.
Hey, make sure no harm comes his way. He might have done some foolish things in the past, but he's a good kid, and he deserves another chance.
A court of law will be the judge of that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Guess we could check upstairs and see if there's any other crimes we need to investigate. It wouldn't be thorough without it. All right. Stop and drink. No thanks. So, some other actors actually were considered to play RoboCop. Michael Ironsides. I mean, take a second and try and picture that in your head. Michael Ironsides. Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell as RoboCop. He would be coming off of V at about that time, so, I mean, maybe? I don't know. They fix everything. Well, see, this is a nice reference to the end of RoboCop. So RoboCop gets impaled by Clarence Boddicker through the chest, and he's basically downed, and Clarence goes in for the coup de grace and is instead shot by Ann Lewis, and she says, "Murphy, I'm a mess." He says, "Don't worry, they fix everything." Or something along those lines. Yeah, they can fix you, they fix everything, I think is the line. The movements for RoboCop are actually very well rehearsed. Peter Weller is a very well-known method actor. Why don't we stop this guy from his hijinks here? But he's a method actor, so he had to stay in costume and kind of in character as much as possible. So
Screw you,
to
man!
the point of being ridiculous, where he was asking people to call him Murphy or Robo during filming, and as a result, driving everybody insane. Hold on, am I not able to scan this and figure something out? Anyway, so he would drive everybody crazy, make them call him Robo, and then, what is this? Notice. Catching dopeheads washing jelly beans or marbles just for kicks. I've never even thought I'd been washing marbles. I'll make you part. Oh, that's probably a wreck of washing machine. Anyway, so he would make people call him Robo and drive people insane with that, and then on top of that...
Evening, officer.
And who's a debt collector?
on top of that, he would also work with a mime director to basically teach him how to move very deliberately and slowly. Can't pet the cat? Just to make sure that he moved, you know, like a giant, you know, massive beast of a machine would move. So, you know, he kind of kept that deliberate motion during filming, but also between filming, which I'm sure drove everybody completely insane, just watching him kind of stomp around like that. Alright, we're going to head to this objective. Oh, we have some footprints. Let's see. Ah, this would be our painter. You can see where he headed. Excuse me, sir.
So, what you gonna do? You can't put me behind bars. I'm still a kid and only done it once. Just let me off with a warning, will ya?
Everybody deserves a second chance?
It is my duty to warn you not to commit that, or any violation again.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'll do my best not to get caught again.
Uh-huh. That is not the same as I won't do it again. So, this seems to be set between Robocop 2 and 3, and if you're not aware, Robocop 2 was actually, it was directed by Irvin Kershner. He's the guy who did The Empire Strikes Back. A lot of people seem to miscredit that to George Lucas, but it was actually Kershner. And a little-known guy named Frank Miller wrote the screenplay. So, I mean, you're talking about Batman Dark Returns is the same guy that's responsible for Robocop 2. Yo, kid, boss is not impressed with what you did with that SUX, but he's a reasonable guy and will let you keep your nimble fingers as long as you show up in the chop shop before nightfall. No ozone layer? No problem. Other than wearing out your right mouse button, there's really nothing stopping you from just holding down the inspection button and just scanning through the entire environment. It doesn't exactly, you know, cost any energy or wear you out or anything. Just means you get that kind of scanline interleave look to everything.
Oh god, I messed up good.
We might be on the right track. Hi there.
You must be Scott. What did you do with the blue SUX 6000 that you stole?
Hey, well, why would I have anything to do with that?
I have found evidence in Ben's shop.
You can't possibly help me. I don't want to cause any more trouble, especially for Ben.
The best thing to do is confess.
Admitting to a crime is the best course of action for any young offender.
I can't go to juvie. Who's gonna fix this mess?
My duty is to serve the public trust.
Okay. I admit. It was me who jacked the SUX. But he didn't leave me any choice.
Who is he?
I can't tell you. If he knew I gave him away, he'd take revenge on Ben. Oh god! It must be those thugs! We're dead! No one is gonna save us!
I don't need
If
saving.
they are criminals, then they are the ones who need saving.
Precisely. Let's blow holes in people.
Anybody home? Where are you, Scotty boy? Oh, shit. It's the metal. Let's get him, blast him!
I'm not sure how they knew it was me.
And then me! Ah!
Anybody else have something to say about it?
You think
Problem solved.
You did it! They didn't think that through. Maybe you can put an end to this after all.
I am missing vital information in order to resolve this case.
I'll tell you what you want. Just please, help me fix this screw-up.
So speaking of
Where
vital
is the car
information, the
now?
original title for this movie was actually
I'm sure
Robocop.
it's still in their chop shop.
Oh,
it's a warehouse on the northeast
Robocop.
side. The entrance is
The
concealed,
future of law
but
enforcement.
I'm
and
sure
depending
you'll
on
find
which
it.
version of the VHS
I'm no
you have,
fighter, but
it may
if
or
there is
may
any
not
other
actually
way,
say that
I would like to help.
on the film.
Maybe you need some more
The
intel.
test audiences were like, yeah, why don't you shorten that up some? Who's
Who
responsible?
did you mean by him?
It's Rex, from the local gang. I only did petty jobs for him mostly, but this time he made me steal that car. He said he wanted the SUX 6000 we were repairing at Ben's. When I said it was too hot, he slashed me with his knife.
Well, that's not very nice.
Why were you hiding?
You saw those thugs. They were looking for me. They realized I tricked them. They wanted the SUX 6000 from Ben's shop, but I didn't want to get him into trouble, so I stole a different one. I doubt anyone would have given a shit, but word on the street is that it belongs to the mayor's niece.
You should have gone to the police.
Any criminal matters should be reported to the police.
I know. I just thought I could figure this out by myself.
Well, you were wrong.
Ben was right from the start. I shouldn't have gone down this road.
All right,
That is all for now. Proceeding to the vehicle's estimated location.
You are calling for backup, aren't you?
Negative. Threat calculation minimal.
Speaking of threat minimal, Robocop actually had a different nemesis at one point. So you had Clarence Boddicker, yes, but the original actor that they had lined up for Clarence Boddicker, now imagine this if you will, Iggy Pop, that skinny rack of bones, even then was going to be Clarence Boddicker. And the original design was that he was going to be a neo-Nazi, but ultimately, they wanted something that was a little more simple and more relatable. He's a scumbag. He's looking for money. He's, a more Machiavellian, mustache twirling type than he's a comic book villain, is really what it comes down to. He's a comic book villain, not, the true horrors of the world scumbag. Lines like, "Can you fly, Bobby?" As he threw a dude off the bus. That's the kind of villain they were shooting for, not necessarily somebody that you go, yeah, this guy has serious horribleness that I can relate to in the real world. Plus, have you seen Iggy Pop in movies? That man cannot act. Alright, let's recover the niece's car. I do like the lighting in this game. I mean, it's very grimy and gross, but the lighting that they've used is really, it's quite good. Alright, we're entering a new scene, the chop shop. So, I'm immediately reminded of the drug scene in the movie. So, can I punch through the wall here? Nope. So, Robocop, ends up investigating a drug lab, and and in it you've got Clarence Boddicker and a guy named Sal, a drug dealer. Why am I not punching through this wall? I would definitely punch through this wall. Talking, and there's a whole scene about, I don't know. I could shove enough of this up your stupid wombat to get high for a year or something like that. And that whole scene, again, completely ad-lib. That's just Hayward Curtis being completely amazing again. Hello, grenade. But that scene is kind of... Oh, hello. Did we just lock up? Oh no, please tell me we didn't just lock up. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, well, I guess we're going to call it there, but I'll tell you the quick thing on that particular scene. It wasn't meant to be so quick about cutting between things, and ultimately it was meant to be a little bit more smooth, but the that dressed up Beretta that I mentioned earlier kept jamming, so they ended up having to do a lot of cuts to that scene and making it look very choppy, but ultimately it kind of served the frantic nature of the film, so it was kept in the way it was. I hope that you've enjoyed all of my stupid trivia, and my god, do I have so much more that just fills my head and takes up space that could be used for anything else that would be useful. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm Ron Burke, Editor-in-Chief for Gaming Trend. Please take a look at our full review for Robocop on the site very soon. Drop by gamingtrend.com for all of our reviews and news. And again, thank you for listening. We'll see you again very soon.